Yo, we are back with another Raw review, and we are back with the last Raw before Wrestlemania 41. I can't believe it's, it's in four? No. Yeah, no, wait, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days of WrestleMania 41 officially starts. What the hell? Crazy. So this was obviously the go home show for WrestleMania 41 this weekend, and before we kick on with what happened on Raw, for a WrestleMania go home show, I thought it was good. Like, it wasn't amazing, but I did think it was very good. Like at the top of good. It was, yeah, a very. I rate my Raws and Smackdowns and the PLEs as well, have done since 2010. And I've given it a 5 because everything on that show was amazing, in terms of just the Raw show. But it's a low 5 based on the simple fact that for a go home WrestleMania, actually I'm not going to go on to some of the stuff now because we will talk about that later in the video. But there's a couple of matches that weren't really featured on this as they should have been. Let's just say that before we kick on with me getting into more detail about that situation. And yeah, I am in a different place in my room, but the reason for that, of the different camera angle, that's what I wanted to get at, is because there was a weird glare going down the middle of my camera and it was shining on my head and I felt like I was sitting in a spotlight. So yeah, I'm kind of like cramped next to my chair and the fan, if you can slightly see it. So yeah, sorry about the different angle. So if I'm leaning like this, it's because I'm looking to see what has just happened on Raw. So yeah, if you do see me doing this, I haven't got anything wrong with my neck or anything. I'm looking at my TV screen. But anyways, going off track. The first segment that opened the show on Raw was the Gunther segment. He was meant to do an in-ring interview with Michael Cole, but that lasted like less than a minute and he just went on an absolute rampage about Jay's family, about Jay. I'm not going to say what the things he said in the promo because I don't know how YouTube is with some things that you're not allowed to say, but he said, you know, what happened in London a couple of weeks ago, that he should have made Jay and Jimmy, drown in his pool of red, because I don't know if you can say that word on here, I'm not too sure. But yeah, no, that was an amazing promo by Gunther. Like, I was kind of hoping for Jay to come out and them have quite a big brawl, but they did separate segments, which I found not great, considering they were both on the show but didn't have any interaction with one another before their match in 4 days at WrestleMania. So I did find that a little bit odd that they had no interaction whatsoever throughout the whole show. But no, it was a very amazing promo by Gunther. I have to give him that. It was absolutely delivered so well and was a very good start to Raw. But like I said, Jey Uso's promo was decent, but he could have said that to Gunther and then they could have had a brawl and it would have made everyone just that bit more excited for Jey versus Gunther, but they just didn't interact with one another. I think they really are saving, I guess, the massive crash out brawl for WrestleMania, which does make sense, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit of interaction in the show, and they didn't have any interaction. But yeah, the Gunther segment was promo was absolutely amazing, but Jay's was decent. Considering he's one that's going after Gunther, his should have been absolutely amazing, but it was decent. Now we're going to get on to what I was going to talk about in the beginning, but I thought we'll wait until one of these segments happened. And, well, it wasn't even a segment, it was a video package by Bianca Belair. and then we got one later on by Rhea Ripley, and then we got one later on by Io Sky, and that was it. Like, hey, considering those three have had interactions every single time on every show, every Raw show, and then the go home show to Raw, they had no interaction whatsoever and just done a video package of themselves and a slight aggressive and emotional and angry promo was a bit random for a go home WrestleMania. I think they should have done that last week, and then what happened on, actually no, because last week we had the contract signing, didn't we? So yeah, that wouldn't make sense. But I feel like we should have had something different for this Raw, considering it was the go home show and we had no interaction between those three, which is probably most likely, and in a lot of people's opinions, is going to be match of the night. But we had no interaction between the three of them, and I don't know, I found that a little bit odd that we just got video packages. Like, if it was like a different PLE, then I wouldn't be too bothered. But the fact this is a go-home show for WrestleMania, and we had no interaction between the three of them, not even like a backstage, like, interview between any of them. We just got video packages, was a bit odd. So I'm not too pleased with how they played that for the WrestleMania Raw show. What happened next? I think... Did we have a... I think we had a match. I think we had... Oh, Bayley versus Liv Morgan. That's what we had. That's exactly... That is, yeah. Yes, it is, yes. What an absolute cracking match this was. This was match of the night for me. That was a brilliant first match. Way better than the tag team gauntlet that we all had to sit through on Smackdown. Yeah, that was awful. But no, this match between Liv Morgan and Bayley was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And it's really, really making me like annoyed that we're not getting a like fatal 4-way or even a fatal 5-way with Raquel involved for the Intercontinental Championship. Is just really annoying, because as much as the match is going to be good, the tag team match between the four of them is going to be good on Sunday, a fatal 5-way for the Intercontinental Championship would have just hit so differently, because they'd all be able to be in the ring at the same time and they could have done some fantastic moves and it would have been brilliant. But unfortunately we're just getting a put together quickly tag team match. But I think the reasoning being that we got this match like all of a sudden and it kind of doesn't really make any sense is because they knew that Kevin Owens was going to have surgery and not have a match at Randy Orton, not have a match at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. So they had to come up with something quickly to replace that match, and I feel like this was their safest option, so that it could get Liv on WrestleMania. But I don't know. I feel like it should have been the tag team champions, which we could still get. Like, I'm hoping that some sort of like massive brawl happens on Friday night and we do get that match official for WrestleMania Sunday. But yeah, I don't know if I see that, but I'm hoping. But anyways, this match anyway in itself, like, scratch whatever else is happening, this match absolutely cooked, and it did help the storyline and going into WrestleMania for the women's tag team champions for sure. Like, it has made me like excited for the match. I just kind of wish it was a little bit different, but other than that, no, this was a very good, very, 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 very good match between the pair of them. And I don't know what happened. Let me check what happened next, because I'm not entirely sure what happened, because I know I'm going to talk about a lot that happened on Raw, because this was the go home show for WrestleMania. But I think there's a few things that I'm not really fussed about talking about. But I can't actually remember what happened after this match, so I'm going to have a check quickly. Okay, I was a bit unsure if I was going to include this match in the Raw review or not. But I'm gonna include this just because obviously Rey Mysterio is having a match against Andrade and Americano. But I wanted to talk about this match because the match was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. but I kind of feel we didn't. Well, I guess we got a bit of interaction between Andrade and Rey Mysterio, but I kind of was hoping for a little bit more, like a little bit more. Maybe like a bit of a brawl, or even like a. I think a slight in-ring promo between the both of them, like before Rey Mysterio had a match with Julius Creed, would have been quite interesting to see if he could kind of work Rey, but without us thinking that it's Chad, or it's literally obvious that it's Chad, but he makes it out that it's not, and we just get like a funny like promo by him, and then Rey Mysterio is, you know, offended that he's in the mask and playing this lucha character and stuff, and I feel like that would have been cool. And then they had a little brawl before Rey Mysterio faced Julius. I think that would have been cool to see, but we didn't get any of that. But we did get Andrade Americano cheating again by putting some metal piece into his mask. But yeah, no, this match though was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. The fact that Rey Mysterio can move how he moves still at 50 years old is crazy, but he moves like he's really young still. Like, he's incredible. Like, incredible. Definitely a well-deserved Hall of Famer for last year's... No, not last year's Wrestlemania, the year before. What did we have next? Did we have a match next? Oh yeah, we had AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. I said his name well weird. Karrion Kross. And he came out wearing gear that was made by the people that make AJ Styles' gear. Like, Karrion Kross is such a good fucking character, but he doesn't get the recognition from the creative team and Triple H and his team that he should. But he's such a good person in the ring, such a good character worker, such a good guy on the mic. I just don't understand why he's not getting some sort of push. Because he's fantastic, and his entrance music and his entrance alone is just so good. So like, I feel like, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get a little bit more of Karrion Kross after WrestleMania. I'm really hoping, because he deserves to be on Raw, because he's just, like I said multiple times, he's such a brilliant character worker. And this match was really good as well. Like, this was very, very enjoyable. I can't lie, I was kind of expecting it to be a quick squash match. I was, just based on the fact that this was Karrion Kross's first Raw match in a very, very long time. So I was kind of expecting AJ Styles to squash Karrion Kross in like under 5 minutes, and then Logan Paul would have attacked him from behind. But we didn't. We got like a 10 to like 12 minute match between the two of them, and it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I like the fact that Karrion Kross acted as if his knee was hurt, because obviously that's how AJ Styles got injured when he returned, and then he got injured literally in the same night that he returned, and then done his signature elbow. I don't know if it's his signature, I think it's just one of his moves, which looks absolutely crazy, to AJ Styles, and then started dancing with his ankle. That was funny. But then after the match had finished and AJ Styles beat Karrion Kross, we had Logan Paul come out to absolute crazy amount of boos, and then he done like a little promo about why he's so good and why him and AJ Styles are going to have a cracking match, which I do agree with. They are going to have a cracking match. And then he showed a video package of all of his accomplishments, which was, I don't know why that was really needed, because he's facing AJ Styles, but okay, it was nice and cool, I guess. I don't know, but it was very random. But and then obviously they brawled in the ring, and Karrion Kross got involved, and that gave Logan the opener to attack AJ Styles. And then Logan Paul done his knockout punch, and then picked him up and done Undertaker's thing, or Undertaker's taunt. And then done his finisher, which is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad that I got to witness him debut that on our Raw in London, because that finisher is probably, I think I said this before, is probably the best finisher in WWE entire roster right now, because that finisher is incredible. But no, it has helped their match a little bit, but not loads. But it has helped it a little bit, and I'm not disappointed with it, considering this is, like I've said multiple times, this is the go home show for WrestleMania. Well, the go home show Raw for WrestleMania, and they have done the story with AJ Styles and Logan Paul very well on this night. So I'm not. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't rubbish. Compared to how they build up Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Yeah, that's not very good what they've done with that, but it is what it is. I can't exactly remember what else happened after AJ Styles, so I'm gonna have a look and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, right. The next segment that I want to speak about, based on the fact that it is part of WrestleMania, and it was Braun Breaker being attacked by Judgment Day's Finn Balor, Carlito, and Dominic Mysterio. I'm surprised Carlito's there, considering that he got speared into a different dimension. Yeah, definitely surprised that he was there. But what I want to talk about the most is Penta versus Finn Balor was a very, very decent match. But I found it funny that when Braun Breaker came out, that Carlito was like, nope, I am not getting speared like I did last week, because they were in the same position. So he rolled into the ring, and then a massive brawl happened between all four of them, and I'm glad it went that way. Like, I'm glad we didn't get anything crazy for this feud, because technically this feud was only, I know they've been bickering like for a few weeks, but technically like the four of them was only literally like a couple of weeks ago. So I feel like they've built it up quite well, considering that all four of them are part of this only 2 weeks ago. But no, it was a very, very good match between Penta and Finn Balor, but obviously it ended in disqualification because Braun Breaker came out and attacked Finn Balor, and then he speared all of them. He speared both. The best bit of the whole segment was when he speared both Carlito and Dominic at the exact same time. That was amazing. And then I think, did Penta? Oh yeah, Penta did. Yeah, Penta done his. I don't think he managed to hit his finisher on him. I think he done I can never remember what the name of it, but he flung him out of the ring anyway. I can't remember what, Hurricane Rana? Something like that. I think that's what it's called. And then he jumped from one rope to the next and then jumped on all of them. But no, yeah, very, 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 very decent match between Finn and Penta, even though it ended in disqualification, and very good brawl before the match and after the match. So yeah, very, very good segment for the go home show for their match at WrestleMania 41 Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Let me have a look so I don't have to pause the video again to see what happened after this. I'm trying to think on the top of my head. Was it just the Roman, Paul, Seth and Punk segment? I think it might have been, you know. Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was. Obviously we got a little video package of night 1 and night 2. And then the main event of the Raw episode was Paul Heyman by the side of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Surprised we didn't get any words from CM Punk, but not surprised at the same time, because I think if CM Punk got in the ring and started talking, this episode would have been overrun by an hour, because CM Punk can talk. Like, he can talk for days and days and days. But I love that he can talk for days and days, but it wouldn't have worked for this Raw, because it was the last episode, not the last episode, because it was the ending of Raw. If it was at the beginning, maybe we might have got something said by Punk, but I think because it was the end of the show, it didn't really have enough time for CM Punk to speak. But I do kind of wish we got something from Punk, because we haven't really had much promo by Punk in this feud. We've had a lot from Seth and Roman, but we've had hardly any from Punk, which is surprising. Very, very surprising. I thought we would have got the at least amount of promo by Seth, to be honest, but we had the least by CM Punk. That is quite surprising to me. And the other thing I want to talk about before we get on to the actual segment itself was the fact that Seth Rollins came out dressed as sort of in Shield attire. That was amazing. I clocked it straight away. Straight away. I was like, why does he look like he's coming out as a member of the Shield again? As soon as he... Sorry. Fucking hell. As soon as he came out. But yeah, no. He loves to play with everyone's emotions. Not even just Roman's. He likes to play with our emotions too. But no, yeah, I love that he came out dressed as dressed in similar attire to what the Shield used to wear. Obviously they didn't wear anything like that, but it was kind of similar. Especially when he had his hair down, it looked more like the Shield outfit than when he had his hair up. Well, his hair in a man bun. But no, we then after Roman made his entrance, obviously we had a very good in-ring promo by Roman Reigns about the fact that he felt that he was betrayed by Paul Heyman, and then they all started chanting whatever they were chanting, because I'm not going to repeat it on here, because in case they're not allowed, I don't know. But yeah, they started chanting a lot of stuff to Paul Heyman, and Paul said he didn't betray him, it was a favour that was owed, and then Roman said that favours don't need to be owned. I can't exactly, I can never remember the words that they used, because so much happened in this Raw that I can never remember exactly what words he used, but I think he said, yeah, no, I'm not going to remember exactly what he said. I'm trying to think of what he said now. Like, oh, you shouldn't be owed a favour if you care about somebody. That's pretty much what he was getting at, that you shouldn't have to owe somebody a favour that you care about, and he doesn't need to owe Roman any favours, so he shouldn't be owing anybody else favours, because if you're truly friends with someone, you don't owe them favours. But then he did, I guess he wasn't owed, I guess it wasn't owed a favour by CM Punk. It was kind of just something that was something that CM Punk wanted out of this, because it was more of a promise by Paul Heyman than it was a favour. I think that's kind of what Roman was getting at, that you shouldn't have to make favours with your friends. You should make promises, and as much as he made a promise with CM Punk, it was kind of looked at as a favour instead of a promise. So I think that's kind of what Roman was getting at with Paul. But no, yeah, it was a very decent, very good, promo by Roman Reigns, but we didn't hear much from Paul. And then obviously Seth Rollins came out and said that Roman's finally clicking to everything, and that this match on WrestleMania Saturday in the main event is the biggest WrestleMania triple threat in history, because whoever wins it is going to lead WWE in the future. After WrestleMania, will be the leader of this company. So has made me really wonder who's winning now. Like, it really, really, really has, by Seth Rollins saying that. Yeah. And then Roman said something along the lines of, I never remember what Roman says. I really don't remember the actual words that he used. Pretty much I know what I'm going to... I think he said something along the lines of, I know what I'm going to do now, and then something along the lines of that, and then he attacked Seth Rollins, and then he pushed Paul Heyman over, and then CM Punk's music hit, they started brawling, and CM Punk went to go and check on Paul Heyman, because obviously Roman Reigns shoved him, and then Roman Reigns speared CM Punk, and then Seth Rollins creeped up from behind, and recreated the moment that happened almost, over 11 years ago. I can't exactly remember the date. I know it's April 2014, but I can't remember the date. Oh no, yeah, no, definitely over 11 years ago, by recreating the moment when Seth hit Roman in the back and ended the Shield. Punk was laid out exactly how Dean Ambrose / John Moxley was laid out, however you want to look at him, and then Roman Reigns was laid out how Roman Reigns was laid out during that segment that happened in 2014. Like, long-term storytelling is absolutely amazing in WWE at the moment, and immediately when Seth came in with the chair, I was like, he's going to recreate the 2014 iconic moment where he ended the Shield and is dressed looking like he's the member of the, well, dressed looking like the member of the Shield. Crazy. Like, I love that. But now it's made me wonder, is Seth Rollins going to walk out of Paul Heyman? Because he was proper staring at Paul Heyman with that chair. And it has made me wonder, are they secretly actually working together? And we've not even realised it the whole time, but they've, for a very long time now, been secretly working together. I can kind of see that happening because the way Paul was looking at Seth when Seth was in the ring, until Seth said something about Paul Heyman. He said something to Paul Heyman, and then his facial expressions changed. But before he said something nasty about Paul, he was kind of looking, like that. And that normally means that he's gonna turn on someone, because he looks at someone when he's on their side. So that's made me really suspicious that they've actually been working together for a long, long time, Seth and Paul. Yeah. But the other thing is that Seth Rollins stood tall. I know it doesn't really matter now if someone stands tall, because I'm pretty sure that The Rock and Roman Reigns stood tall at the Go Home show for Raw last year, and then they won anyway. So I don't think it necessarily matters if they stand tall. But this is a triple threat match, and the winner is going to be the leader of this company and direct the company into what way this industry goes. And Seth stood tall. And Seth's the best person in that ring to lead this company on. And he stood tall. So now I'm wondering, is Seth Rollins winning? Because in my prediction video, I have predicted that Seth Rollins is going to win. But now I'm questioning that a little bit. A big part of me still believes that Seth Rollins is winning, but another part of me feels that I don't know who's winning now. And I love that. I love that this WrestleMania Go Home show for that match has made me question my prediction, and has made me question who's actually going to walk out of this triple threat of the main event on Saturday. Because now it could be any of them now, because Roman was laid out, Punk was laid out, Seth was standing tall, but then that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to lose. And then that interaction with Paul that happened between the promo between him and Roman and the ending where Seth was proper staring at Paul. So now I'm like, is actually Seth winning now? I don't know. And I'm really, really, really am loving that I just don't know who's going to win now. But yeah, for a Go Home show Raw, they done a lot of the matches good, but one of the main matches that everyone is looking forward to between Rhea, Bianca and Io, they have not really hyped that up whatsoever. They just done, like I said, they done video packages with a semi-promo. That was it. And I just feel like that is not a way to build up that feud. They should have, all three of them should have had a massive brawl in the back. Like, Bianca should have been doing a promo with Kathy Kelly and then shit-talking Rhea and Io, and then Rhea attacked Bianca from behind. Them two start brawling for a few minutes, and then Io Sky gets involved. She starts brawling with them all, and then they all have a massive brawl, and then they're all surrounded by security. That's kind of what should have happened. But we didn't get anything, and I just find that a bit odd. especially, like I said, especially for a match as big as that is. We got video packages, so I'm disappointed about that, but every other match that is happening, they built up very well. Hang on a second. Did they build up every Raw one though? So Jay and Gunther, I guess they've only really been picking it up for a couple of weeks now, so I feel like it was a good build up, but like I've already said in this video, I feel like they should have had an interaction. Andrade and Rey Mysterio, I'm going to say that they built that up very well, because it's a very random match anyway, but I'm happy with how they built that one up. The New Day and the War Raiders, again, they didn't really have much. They just had, I didn't really speak about that in this video, and the reason being because they didn't really do anything. Obviously, War Raiders done like a video package, and then the New Day done an interview saying that they're going to win, but it hasn't really hyped me for the match, and I wasn't hyped anyway. Roman, Seth and Punk, they've built that up very well, and I just can't fucking wait for that match. I'm so fucking excited for that match, so excited. Lara, Bailey and Raquel and Liv, they've built that up really well. Has made me a bit more excited for that match. Penta, Dom, Finn and Braun Breaker, they built that up very well as well, heading into WrestleMania, so I'm happy with how they've done that on this go-home show. AJ Styles and Logan Paul, I thought it was a decent go-home show storyline for the pair of them. I feel we should have got a little bit longer of a brawl and not that weird video package by Logan, but other than that, it was very good. And yeah, but Bianca, Rhea and Io, sorry, because Io's the champ, so you say her last. They have not made me that excited. Well, I am excited, I can't lie, I am excited for that match, but they've not made me like, oh my god, really excited for this match now, because they haven't done anything with this go home show Raw. They, like I've said multiple times, they've just done video packages and backstage segments, promos. So yeah, not built that up very well. But every other match that's happening on the Raw side of things, they've built up very well. But anyways, guys, this has been my go home show WrestleMania Raw review. We have Smackdown this Friday. We have NXT tonight, technically, because it's now Tuesday. And then we have Hall of Fame. We have Stand and Deliver for NXT. We have WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday. And then we have the Raw after Mania. So we've got a lot of wrestling going on this week, and us UK and Europeans, if you're from the UK and Europe and Northern Ireland and Europe, we're in for some long nights. But it will be way worth it. I really hope. I hope WrestleMania cooks this weekend. But I am going to be doing, of course, a Smackdown review for Smackdown this weekend, and this Friday. And I really hope it is way better than the Smackdown that just happened. I'm not going to go into much detail because this is a Raw review, but I will link that Smackdown review that happened last Friday in the description, because oh my god, that was, yeah, terrible. But anyways, guys, this has been my WWE Monday Night Raw go home show WrestleMania 41 review, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Raw. Let me know what you thought of this go home show Raw. Did you think it was a good go home show Raw? Do you think they should have done better? And if so, what should they have done better with? And yeah, guys, I hope to see you in my Smackdown review that I do this Friday. And I hope it's better than the last one. Please, WWE, do better.